Hello everyone, this is Jean from Megris Academy. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics from the elementary school math contest, and that is Venn diagram. And a Venn diagram can get really complicated when you have more than two sets, but today we're going to start with only the two set problems. Now let's look at some basic concepts first. Okay. A set is a collection of objects. You may think of this as a collection of toys, a collection of Legos. And when you have more than one set, and these two sets may have some overlapping, some relation between them. And when that happens, if you want to express the relation between or among these sets, you may want to consider using the Venn diagram. But before we talk about that, there are other methods that I want to introduce to you. First, let's look at these 5 boxes. So here on the left, we have these 2 boxes that have only the red paint. Now the one in the middle has both the red and the blue paint. Now there's one box to the right that has only the blue paint, and the one that's to the far right that has no paint. So there are 5 boxes, right? So, and if we want to express the information that's being illustrated with the 5 box, one thing we can do is to make a list. Simply, we can make a list. Let's see. We can make a list. So we can just say there are 3 boxes with red paint, and there are 2 with blue paint. There's one that has both paint. There's one that has no paint. And there's only, so out of the 3 with the red paint, there's only 2 with red only, right? And out of the 2 with blue, there's only 1 with blue only. And why is that? It's because this guy is really special. This guy got 2 paints, 2 different colors of paint. Okay, so this is one method, is that you can make a list. You can always do this, right? You can make a list. Then another method I want to introduce is to make a 2x2 table. This is called a 2x2 table. And what we do here is that we can simply make 4 cells. So no red, and then we can do blue and no blue. Okay, and then we draw these lines, a vertical line and a few horizontal lines. Now we have 4 cells, and let's see. So how many boxes that have both red and blue? We know that's one in the middle. How many that has red but no blue? Red but no blue. That's 2, right? That's these 2. These 2 that has only red but no blue. So let's put 2. How many has only blue but no red? Only blue but no red. That's 1. How many that has no red or no blue? Okay, that's 1. That's this one, this blank one, right? So either you use a list or a table. You tell the story. And those are 2 methods before we talk about the Venn diagram. However, the advantage about Venn diagram is that it's very, very direct. It's very, very straightforward. If you learn to use Venn diagram, it's a very powerful tool. And now let's look at how we can use Venn diagram to illustrate the same 5 boxes. Okay, so these are the same 5 boxes that I just copy and pasted to this new page. And let's see what we can do here. So when I draw a Venn diagram, so let's see, when I draw a Venn diagram, what I always do is that I always draw a box. So I draw a big rectangle, and this represents everything. This represents all the boxes, and I call this a universe, right? This is my universe. my universe of boxes. That's all the boxes. And inside, I want to do 2 circles. You know that they have some overlapping. So we know that this is my red and this is my blue. Okay, this is my red, this is my blue. And the overlapped part is the box that has both the red and the blue. And let's put 1 there because we know that there is only 1 box that has both red and blue paints on them. And then what about this part? I'm going to use these very fine dots to represent this part. So this part is the boxes that has only the red paint but no blue paint. Okay, so let me say this is only red. And we know there are 2. And what about these? I'm going to use polka dots here. And this part are the boxes that only has blue paint. And we know that there's 1. Now, these are my 2 sets of the ones that have paint. What about the ones that does not have any paint? So I'm going to draw a little circle, you know, just in one of the far corners. And this is that 1 box that has no paint. And let's check. We've got 2 that has only red, we've got 1 that has only blue, we've got 1 that has no paint, and 1 that has both. And 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, is that 5? Yes. So the whole box here, the whole rectangle, the universe, that is my 5. Okay, so I think we have illustrated this beautifully with the Venn diagram. It's very clear, it's very straightforward. Now let's see what kind of potential questions you can get from a math contest using this Venn diagram. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, there are some potential questions and let's see if we can answer them together. Number 1, how many boxes have at least 1? Okay, at least 1. At least 1, that should include only red plus only blue plus both. Because at least 1, that's 1 paint and 2 paints, right? So only red, we know from there it's 2, and only blue is 1, and 1 for both. So the answer is 4. 4 boxes have at least 1 paint. Now, question number 2. How many boxes have only red paint? Only red paint. We already know that, right? It's 2 boxes. Now, how many, third question. How many boxes have only the blue paint? And we know that too. It's 1. It's that polka dot region, right? Now, number 4, how many boxes have only 1 paint? Ooh, that's tricky. Only 1 paint, but didn't say what paint color. So we have to add only red with only blue. So the answer is 2 plus 1 equals 3. Now, number 5, how many boxes have paint on them? So it didn't say how many different colors of paint, right? So number 5 is basically number 1. So as long as you have 1 paint, you have paint. So we'll say 4. Okay, number 6, how many boxes have no paint? We already know, 1, 7. How many boxes are there in total? We'll do 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5.